the ABA Business Freedom Blueprint. It's the fastest way I know to transform your clinic from a job that owns you into a thriving business that gives you freedom, impact, and the ability to serve more families than you ever thought possible. Hey there, I'm Asia Davis, co-founder of ABA Business Coach, along with my wife, Molly Olapini. We've worked with hundreds of ABA clinic owners, and I've seen the same pattern over and over. You got into this field to help families and kids with autism, but somewhere along the way, you became the bottleneck. You're working overtime, stressed about payroll, putting out fires every single day, right? And wondering why you can't pay yourself at all, let alone what you're worth, right? Sound familiar? Here's what I'm going to show you today. First, the exact phases every successful ABA business goes through on the journey to true business freedom. And second, the 3 core systems, what we call the CEO Mastermind framework, that will get you there while actually giving you more time and freedom, not less. We've helped clinic owners go from barely surviving to multiple 7 figures, and the path is more predictable than you think. Every ABA clinic, every business goes through these predictable phases based more or less on client count. So first, survival mode. Usually that's around 2 to 10 clients. This is where you're doing everything yourself, working 60+ hour weeks, and you're 1 client cancellation away from missing payroll. And you're still thinking like a clinician, not a CEO. Then there's stability. That's usually around 10 to 20 clients. You've got some staff, but you're still the go-to person for everything. Every decision flows through you. You're serving more families, but working harder than ever because you haven't built the systems to support this growth. This usually looks like some days you're like, man, it was easier. I worked less as a W-2 employee than I do now as a business owner. And then success. Typically, we see that around 20 to 35 clients. Now, from the outside, people think you've made it. You're serving a lot of families, making decent money, but inside, you're 1 key employee away from chaos, or maybe 1 delayed insurance check away from failure. So you're successful, but not scalable. And there's scale, right? That's usually around 35 or more clients. And this is where the magic happens. You shift from working in your business to working on your business. You become a leader of leaders, not the problem solver for everyone. You're not just running 1 clinic, you're building an enterprise. And then there's significance. Maybe you've got multiple locations, you're working in many states, you've got hundreds of clients. You're not just running clinics, you're leading your market. You're making a massive impact on the autism community. And on top of that, you've got true freedom. Now, here's the problem. Most clinic owners get stuck between 10 and 20 clients because they don't know their numbers. They're constantly dealing with staff drama, and they haven't made that mindset shift from clinician to CEO. There are 3 core problems that keep ABA businesses from scaling. Problem number 1, cash flow chaos. Here's reality. You don't know your magic number. You don't know how many billable hours you need to cover your costs, let alone make a profit. And you're flying blind financially. And there are money leaks in your business costing you tens of thousands, more likely hundreds of thousands per year. Problem number 2, hiring nightmares. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Staff don't show up for interviews. You're dealing with cattiness and drama. People quit without notice. And you feel trapped keeping toxic employees because you need bodies, right? You need people in the space doing sessions. You don't have a hiring flywheel, so you're always desperately looking for staff. And then there's problem number 3, the CEO bottleneck. Everything runs through you. You're still thinking like a clinician, not a CEO. You don't have systems, so growth means more chaos, not more freedom. You ever have that thought where you're like, man, when I started this, I thought I really wanted to grow. That was the idea, but the thought of even imagining growth right now sounds dreadful. Sound about right? Here's the solution. The CEO Mastermind framework. 3 pillars that transform clinician-owned practices into CEO-led enterprises. Pillar 1, cash flow confidence. The goal is simple. End payroll panic for good and get your peace of mind back. People often come to us because they're worried about making payroll. They're literally lying awake at night wondering if they'll have enough money to pay their team. That's no way to live. And it's definitely no way to run a business that's supposed to be helping families. So first, we calculate your magic number. The exact number of billable hours your clinic needs each month to cover all costs and pay you. And pay your profit, pay you what you're worth. When you know your magic number, you have a North Star. You know exactly what you're aiming for. Second, we plug the leaks. Every clinic has money leaks, from billing inefficiencies, insurance claim delays, staff productivity issues, overhead weight. We identify and fix these systematically so you can get your peace of mind back. And third, we build financial systems so you always know where you stand. No more surprises, no more wondering if you can make payroll. You'll sleep better knowing your finances are rock solid. So I've got a question for you, and I want you to start thinking about this in terms of red, yellow, green. Green is everything's fine, that you love it, like it's going great. Yellow is like could use some work, and red is it's not working for me at all, or I don't even know what this is. So, question: do you know your exact magic number? Do you know your cost per billable hour? Do you have complete confidence in your cash flow? So again, green light, yes, you've got this. Yellow light, okay, but could be better. Red light, flying blind and stressed about money. Take a minute, think about those questions, and just mark it down, red, yellow, green. Pillar 2, hiring flywheel and team culture. The goal, never be desperate for staff again and create a culture where A players want to stay. First, we build your hiring flywheel, a system that continuously brings qualified candidates to you, even when you're not actively hiring. So no more posting on Indeed and praying, right? No more interviews where people don't show up. Second, we eliminate the drama. We create clear systems for accountability, communication, and performance management. No more cattiness. No more putting out fires every day. Nobody wants that. Third, we develop leaders within your team. Right? You stop being the person everyone comes to with problems and start being the person who develops other problem solvers. Right? Something that we talk about a lot is like, you didn't go to school to learn business. You also didn't go to school to put out fires, right? But that's what ends up happening, right? Because you don't have the right systems in place that has other people solving problems for themselves. That's what we do. So here's the question. And again, we're looking at green, yellow, red. Do you have a steady pipeline of qualified candidates? Is your team drama-free and high-performing? Are you developing leaders, not just managing employees? So mark it down, green, yellow, red. For the third pillar, CEO systems and mindset. This is where the real transformation happens, from clinician to CEO. First, we design your operations so they don't depend on you. Families get consistent, excellent care, whether you're there or not. Right? Your clinic runs like a well-oiled machine. Second, we implement scalable systems. Every process is documented, every role has clear expectations, every outcome is measurable. Growth becomes predictable, not chaotic. Third, and most importantly, we shift your mindset. Right? You stop being the person who does everything and become the person who ensures everything gets done. You become a leader of leaders. All right, so here we go again. Red, yellow, green. Could your clinic run a month without you and still deliver excellent care? Do you have systems that support growth instead of creating chaos? Have you made the mental shift from clinician to CEO? Mark it down. Green, yellow, red. So let me share a couple of quick stories, right? So this is Megan. Megan came to us running a single clinic. She was working 60 plus hours a week, constantly stressing about money. She was a brilliant clinician, but drowning as a business owner. Within 12 months of implementing our framework, she knew her numbers cold, had a waiting list of qualified staff. She doesn't even use Indeed to recruit staff anymore. She now goes kayaking with the manatees whenever she likes and gets to spend ample time with her family. Then there's Rena. When she first came to us, she was doing decent revenue, but stressed about money all the time. After going through our frameworks and putting them into action, this past year was our highest profitable year ever. She barely added a single new client. But here's the thing. It wasn't just about the money. Before, she was very unsure of herself, second-guessing every decision. Today, It's like she's unrecognizable. She's confident. She trusts herself and her instinct. She knew it was possible, but she didn't know how to put the pieces in place. And after working with us, she completely transformed. So here's what I want you to do right now. Look at these 3 pillars. We've got cash flow confidence, we've got the hiring flywheel and team culture, and CEO systems and mindset. Which one is your biggest red light? Which one, if you fixed it in the next 90 days, would transform your clinic? Now, I'm going to be honest, for most clinic owners, it's the cash flow piece. Brilliant clinicians, but they don't know their numbers. They don't know their magic number. They don't see the leaks. And they're always worried about money. For others, it's the hiring piece and culture. They're constantly dealing with staff drama, people not showing up, high turnover, and they feel trapped keeping mediocre employees. And for some, it's the CEO mindset piece, right? They know they need to step back and work on their business, but they don't know how to build systems that work without them. Here's the thing. You didn't get into ABA to be stressed about payroll or to work 70-hour weeks. Right? You got into this field to change lives, to help families, to make a real difference for kids with autism. The CEO Mastermind framework doesn't just grow your business, it gives you back your mission. When you have cash flow confidence, when you have an amazing team, when you have systems that work, you get to focus on what you love. It could be the clinical work, the family relationships, the impact. You get to be the clinician and the CEO. You get to serve more families while working fewer hours. You get to build something significant while getting your life back. So if this resonates with you, if you're ready to make the shift from clinician to CEO, here's what I want you to do, right? This is going to be our little thing. Send us a message on Instagram, right? You can send it right to @ABA Business Coach, right? What you're going to do, just send me the word sushi in all caps. Right? I love sushi, right? So sushi. This will be our little code that you watch this video. And I'll send you a simple document with details about how the CEO Mastermind works, right? No funnel, no sales calls required, just information so you can see if it's a right fit for you and your business. Your families are counting on you to build something sustainable. Your team is counting on you to be a leader. And you deserve to have a business that serves your life, not the other way around. The path from clinician to CEO is clear. The question is, are you ready to take it? So send me sushi on Instagram and let's make it happen.